What's good, everybody? Hope you're doing well. And today we have a request from a Patreon member here, Michael. And Michael, I'm going to read your message here. It says here, Polo, if I may, I'd like to request a video. You indicated after a highway patrolman, that was from Bruce Springsteen, that I reacted to not too long ago from the day that I posted this, that you sometimes like story songs, which I do. I like a great story. One of my favorite story songs by Bruce is called The River. My favorite version is from the live 75 to 85 album. It has an intro where he talks about his difficult relationship with his father while growing up, and it gives a lot of context to his personality. If it's a song that sounds interesting to you and I'm able to request it as a patron, I'd like you to do that, please. Thanks very much, Mike. All right. So I didn't read the message before I started recording, and I had just pulled up the Bruce Springsteen The River live performance. However, I don't know if this performance has. I'm assuming it's like an interlude that gives a backstory that you mentioned here. Let me see if it's on the album. Let me pull up the album first. Bruce Springsteen, The River. All right. Oh, did he name the album? Or the album is called Bruce Springsteen. Okay, so let's go to the album. Yeah, the album's called The River. All right, and all right. So here's the studio version, and it's 4 minutes and 59 seconds. And there is the other version that it's 7 minutes and 3 seconds, the live version, which has over 45 million views on YouTube. So you didn't send a link in terms of which one you wanted me to react to, unless I'm misunderstanding it. So I'm going to do the one that's super duper viral. Okay. And if you want me to go back and do the studio, you stay another month with me or so, just request it and I'll come back and do the studio version. This is in 1980, 3 years before I was born. And this is Bruce Springsteen, The River. Give me a second here. Let me get it prompted up. I kind of just hit record and didn't set it up first, so forgive me, you guys. Give me a second. But yeah, I was touched by his last performance, that, the younger version of him, the acoustic version of him. I was really touched by that. And this may be a Patreon exclusive. We'll see if it gets blocked or not on YouTube, but I don't know. Okay, so Bruce Springsteen, The River tour, and this is in 1980. Before we get started, do me a big favor and like the video if you like the video, okay? I'm not doing another edit or another cut. Whatever mistakes are in this one, they'll just be in this one. Let's go. You know what? Let me pull up the lyrics. Give me a second here. One moment, you guys. Being that this is a video from the 80s, it means there's a lot of Generation X baby boomers who still have their attention span. So I'm pretty sure you guys can hold a second here. Bruce Springsteen, The River lyrics. All right, let me pull that up just in case I want to follow along. Doesn't mean I'll be commenting on the lyrics unless there's something worth commenting about. But yeah, let's do this, okay? And thank you for joining. Thank you to all my Patreon members for joining, for supporting me. I don't make a lot on doing the music thing. That's why a lot of music reactors go to they pivot to something different. But I genuinely have a love for music, and I love discovering different things. So as long as you guys are here, I'll continue to do it. And I just want to say thank you guys. I genuinely mean that. So yeah, let's go ahead. You know, it's crazy we're talking about something like this because later I was watching a documentary about how many successful people who have like tumultuous relationships with their mother or father or both, and they become like greatness, okay, because that's what kind of builds their character. And me, I'm a father, and I do fear that I love my son too much. You know what I mean? So, because I've had such a crazy childhood, and it's like I'm terrified of him experiencing 1/5 of the things that I experienced when I was a kid. But it creates such, Bruce wouldn't be who he was if it wasn't for his father. Just a side note of what I was thinking, like, Michael Jackson wouldn't be who he was. So many people that we know that just, like even me, my people tell me I'm a little bit different than the average person because, I had such an horrific childhood, you know what I mean? So I don't see the world the way most the average person sees it. I forgot you can do that. All right. Caught me off guard, man. Mhm.
I come from down in the valley where, mister, when you're young, they bring you up to do like your daddy done.
Ugh. Opening chills. Didn't take long, okay? This is one you can tell comes from a really deep place, especially when you're talking about your parents. And this is one of your favorite songs. So, I assume you're an intelligent man or a successful man because you have extra income to support my Patreon. So when you pick a song and it's the song that you pick out of all the songs, that there's a lot of thought that went behind it, I think of those things, whenever someone sends me a song that's on my Patreon or whatever. And I got the instant chills right away, because when he's saying that, that came from somewhere, you know, deep within. I come from down in the valley where Mr. when you're young, you see Mrs. and Mr. respect. Okay, comes from that era. Not bruh, bruh. I watch a lot of police cam videos and they go, bruh, bro. They call the police bro. No respect for authority whatsoever. Which, I'm not. I'm a zennial. So I learned to respect as well. I'm sorry. I may if I pause it enough, then it might make YouTube. Okay, all right, so here.
I come from down in the valley where, mister, when you're young, they bring you up to do like your daddy done.
Woo!
Me and Mary, we met in high school. when she was just 17. We'd ride out of this valley, don't know where the fields were green.
Okay, so another thing I noticed about his storytelling abilities, which I didn't know this about Bruce. I reacted to him to a lot of his more upbeat, songs that he performed or whatever. But I'm seeing the development of him in terms of when he was younger and why that love has grown over the years. So when you see him on the awards and everybody's doing all of this, and you go, damn, they really like this guy. It's because he touched them long time ago, in his prime with when he was a pure artist. I don't know if he ever went commercial. You guys can let me know. Right? But this is music of a pure artists, from my opinion, my personal opinion, which is what I gravitate towards musically. Okay. So this is my favorite version of Bruce Springsteen that I've discovered so far because he comes from the heart.
This valley, don't know where the fields were green. We go down to the river, head into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we ride. Then I got Mary pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote. And for my 19th birthday, I got a union card and a wedding coat. We went down to the courthouse, and the judge put it all to rest. No wedding day smiles, no walk down the aisle, no flowers, no wedding dress.
Hold on. Okay. The song takes a turn. He got married pregnant, then he went down, and man, that's all she wrote for my 19th birthday. I got, what the hell? So they denied the wedding. Okay, so this turns into a really, I mean, a man's life is about pain, so I expected some pain here, in general. And contrary to what movies and music and some music will make you believe, men are generally more romantic than women. It's just that after we get our heart stumped in, at a young age, it hardens us because we can't recover from our emotions the way, as fast as women can, because they live in their emotions. They watch things that manipulate their emotions so they can recover faster than a man can. A man can be like, I am never going through that pain again, because, I've seen people, even in my real life, that decide to just, check out because they couldn't deal with certain pains, the pains of losing the wife and your kids and the whole nine. And it's not something that many of us are equipped with, especially the more masculine you are, in my personal opinion.
And a wedding coat. We went down to the courthouse, and the judge put it all to rest. No wedding day smiles, no walk down the aisle, no flowers, no wedding dress. That night we went down to the river, heading to the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we ride.
Oh my gosh. I can see why you picked this song. Oh my goodness, this is good. All right. I'm not mad I didn't pick the studio version because I am really rocking with this one. And I can see why it's viral because there's a lot of people that can relate to the emotion this song evokes. Okay. All I ever wanted out of life as a child, as a 16-year-old boy, when I became an adult, was a really nice apartment and a beautiful girl and a nice car. That's all I ever wanted out of life, And you would think that would be simple enough, but things happened that sent me on a trajectory of just being a different type of person for many years and not being able to trust, So, I can relate to like the teenage love, that goes into the kid. And I didn't have a kid at a young age like he did, but I can relate to the emotion that he's talking about in terms of the simple things in life that men want.
Dress. That night we went down to the river, heading to the river we died. Oh, down to the river we'd ride.
I love the piano player here. Oh my gosh.
Then I got a job.
Yeah, someone's a fan of Bob Dylan, all right. Or maybe it's just me. When I see a guy pouring his heart out on stage and I'm assuming he wrote this song. It's a personal song, all right. And he's a great songwriter, and the instrument of choice is the harmonica. And I'm just learning Bob Dylan, so I'm just throwing paint at the wall. I assume that he's a fan because I'm learning his catalog as well. He's one of my favorite songwriters. He doesn't just write about himself. He writes about other people, tragic events, and things of that nature. He brings attention to it with his fame. And he didn't, from my understanding, really like being a celebrity like that. He liked being an artist. I'm pretty sure he liked being successful, but he didn't like the idea of the celebrity worship, at least from the interviews that I've seen. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And I really, really rocks with people like that. All right. Those are a dying breed. All right?
Then I got a job working construction for the Johnstown Company. But lately there ain't been no work on account of the economy. Now all them things that seem so important, well, mister, they vanish right into the air. Now I just act like I don't remember, and Mary acts like she don't care.
Oh,
But
man.
I remember us riding in my brother's car, her body tan and wet down at the reservoir. At night on those banks, I'd lie awake and pull her close just to feel each breath she'd take. Now those memories come back to haunt me.
Man.
They haunt me like a curse. Is a dream a lie if it don't come true?
There's a fun thing that I never knew when doing these reactions that would happen to me. Okay. Bruce Springsteen, all right. You're a kid, you see the awards, you see the standing ovation. You see an old guy up there that still kind of got it, doing his dances, and everybody's just gleeful, that type of thing. And you don't really get it. You don't get it. But as an old man now, I'm a middle-aged man, all right, and getting into music that I can relate to because I have enough life experience, the puzzle starts to come together, and you can see how these people develop that love for him over the years. You know what I mean? And because I am personally, late to the party, but developing that love. This man pours his heart out in this song and this performance. It is phenomenal. I'm gonna give it another horn here. I've always liked music before my time because I like a lot of those artists because I think that they were more in touch with reality. It was before the super insecure age we live in now, where we live in this life of filters and makeup and surgeries and men trying to be more attractive than the women, and the women are insecure because they're competing with the next woman, and all this different craziness we got on. And a lot of that, when I see like people at the Grateful Dead concerts or whatever, there's not a care in the world. They're just enjoying life. They're enjoying what it's like to be alive. And that's the thing I like about that era versus today. But I wouldn't be a YouTuber in that era today. I'd be working at a factory or or doing some tech work or whatever. But that's why I've always gravitated to music from the 50s, 60s, 70s. Although my playlist today I still listen to music from 2025. It doesn't get a lot of views, so I don't review that on this channel. But so I don't. It's all art at the end of the day to me. But if you're asking me where my heart is where Nina Simone lived and where Marvin Gaye lived and Bob Dylan and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? That's where, because I just think those artists, Sade, et cetera, that's just was a time that is extinct now.
Now those memories come back to haunt me. They haunt me like a curse. Is a dream a lie if it don't come true? Or is it something worse that sends me down to the river? Though I know the river is dry, it sends me down to the river tonight. Down to the river, my baby and I. Oh, down to the river we'd ride.
This is the reason why I'm going to review the album on my Patreon, as much as I can, and give my full attention to it and break it down. Okay, because I should be doing way more album reviews, but I think they're more fun when the artist can touch my soul, if that's a thing, and touch my heart. Pink Floyd, Tool, etc. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out everybody I've reviewed, and this is a side of Bruce I've never seen before. So thank you, because it's given me the utmost respect for him, in terms of his artistry.
River we'd ride.
No shiny shirts, no diamonds, no fancy watch, just a call center t-shirt, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like, it's about the music, all right? And I love that. I hate to keep interrupting, but we have to add context. This is not my content. This is, copyrighted content, and it may get blocked. All right, I want to post it on YouTube, but I may not be able to, so I don't know. So forgive me if you guys are wondering why I paused it, but I genuinely am giving my honest thoughts on it, And I always thought Bruce Springsteen was fun. Okay, like he's a good artist. He's dope. I don't get what the super hype is about him, but I like him. He's good. And then I go back and discover him at a younger age, and I said, oh. And not every artist can bring this out of me. Excuse me. Don't tell me that's the end. Let's go. gosh. Chills. Standing ovation. Bravo. And another thing I've learned from doing music reactions is there are no superior instruments, okay? Unless you play the bass. I'm just joking. It's a joke. Whether it's Jethro Tull in the flute, which I never thought was a masculine instrument, or whether it's the harmonica, which I always thought was okay or whatever. But I've learned that whatever you pour your heart into, and when you put into it, it can be just as powerful. It can give you the same chills and vibes as the most iconic electric guitar can, from my perspective. So that's one thing that's humbled me and taught me that, because I've been wild with most instruments that I can think of, doing all these different reactions on Polo Music and Polo Reacts, both channels. If you're not familiar, this is the secondary channel, the Polo Music channel, but I have a bunch of other reactions on Polo Music if this is your first time watching me as well. So that's one thing that doing these reactions have taught me. The whole reason why I even got into this niche was to feel more comfortable on camera and talking on a microphone, because I'm really an introvert. I do not wear my emotions on my sleeve in real life. I'm a lot, unless we're somewhat close, that's not, I've never been that type of person. Music is something that I would listen to in a dark room or on a walk by myself, as a lot of men are like that. So it takes a lot of effort for me to reveal things about myself and talk about it on camera. But I am also a competitive person, so I challenge myself to not be a pussy and just go ahead and do it. And for some reason, my channel just took off. So, I thank you guys who have helped change my life for the better. And, while, I'll just leave that there. But in terms of this music from Bruce Springsteen, I am down for the ride to discover more, because I like this. This was a 10 out of 10. It's something that I can play in the Forerunner. It's something that I can listen to on repeat. I love music that I can feel, and I felt this one. So shout out to the Patreon member that sent in the request for this one, Michael. Okay, you subscribed 5 days ago, and it took me a while to get back to you because I don't have an assistant. But I always respond back. And this was a great request. I can easily see why this is one you still come back to so many years later, as it is now a part of my playlist. All right. So thank you to Michael. Let me know what else I should check out from Bruce or your favorite artists. Okay. It doesn't have to be from this era. It could be new music as well. Okay. And subscribe just in case I post a video you want to see. And as I stated before, this channel doesn't make much money. So if you want to support, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. There's a PayPal, a Cash App. I don't think I've gotten a Cash App in like 7 months. Okay. Well, there's actually one person who has, all right, on my Patreon. She knows who she is. Thank you. And that helps keep allowing me to do these music reactions, because they're very strict about reviewing music on any platform, which is understandable. It's their art. So if you like these type of things, feel free to support if you're still here. And one last thing, I want to thank you for your time, as your time is the most valuable resource that you have. And I want to thank you for watching. Peace.